There's this song by somewhere that was actually not trending. So why not we rather invest in this, which is like a quarter or even less of what we would have to pay to achieve that
Same
same
result.
result.
What was the earned impression you were looking at the time?
We were talking about 10 million impressions.
And what did you get?
Got about 200 million.
God damn
And
it. From 5?
yes,
From the failed one?
exactly.
To 5,000?
And we couldn't even believe it.
If you had used someone who was lesser known and wasn't Stoneboy, do you think you would have gotten the same impact? Did Stoneboy know about the results? Did you?
Oh yeah, he was, he was so happy to push it.
So he went from not pushing it to pushing it because now he has done something that he can relate to.
Exactly. If you don't notice me, I am not hitting the right nerve in your memory and in your emotion. Able to hit one of them or the two of them,
You've done your job.
I have done my job.
Advertising then was buy this. Advertising now is more come and be part of this.
Exactly.
It's why influencer marketing is a thing now. At what scale do you see AI being used in advertising? Do you think it would get to a point where people use AI to generate music and they'll create dance challenges like you did with Stoneboy?
It's an option. It's a very good option. But you see, one thing is that AI cannot override fan love. People love Stoneboy.
Stoneboy at the time was the brand ambassador for
Yes.
the company. When you sent the song to him or the script to him, did he change anything? Did he tell you, oh, I want to do this myself? Awurakua, thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you.
I don't want our viewers to know that our place is very far, but we are somewhere coded.
Yeah. Somewhere in the US. I took 2 flights.
They didn't hear that. So, you're a marketing professional. You've worked across consumer electronics, FMCG, and digital. And across all of it, music keeps showing up as a tool, some way, somehow. Where does that marketing instinct come from? In fact, if you can, give us a background of where you work, where you've been, all the places that I've mentioned, electronics, FMCG, and all of that, and how that marketing instinct comes in.
Okay, so I actually have a background in psychology and English, and I also did a bit of theater arts in my first degree. So I'd say where did music come from? Theater arts, because it's part of the department, and I think it's one of the places that actually made me realize I have a creative mind, and I kind of like unconventional things with music, with dance and all that. So I would say theater art, and also English and psychology, because it's all about how do I stimulate your mind, how do I get you to pay attention to me. So I would say from the first degree, I actually chose these courses because that's one thing that's always been of interest to me.
Did you know you're going to end up using all of this in marketing?
No, I chanced on marketing actually.
Wow. But because it seems you can't have the perfect foundation for marketing, because a lot of marketing is psychology, understanding consumer behavior, right? English, how to string words together to put the right message out, and theater, where the music comes from, that we are discussing today. Exactly. Wow, your foundations were really shaped.
Right? If somebody told me I'd be a marketer, I wouldn't actually believe it, because I thought I was going to be a lawyer or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's also about opportunities. So my first career was with a tech and a games company.
Okay.
No experience, right? They were like, you want a marketing person? I'm like, no, I don't have marketing experience. I'm just a fresh graduate. But somehow, they felt how I could naturally articulate, my plans, and I could understand the consumer mindset. They were like, no, I think you can do it. So that's how my first career in marketing started. Wow. As a marketing coordinator, I think. And I actually left so much results over there amazingly.
Wow.
It's actually, it was one of myself. That was when I took a step back. I was like, wait.
Maybe this is it.
Maybe this is actually my path. But I've always been very versatile. Even though I was doing marketing, I also had interest in copywriting, digital. I've always been a curious marketer. I don't like the conventional way of doing things. I like to take a risk.
Break the rules.
Yeah, break the rules. Because if you don't break the rules, you can't find
Exactly.
what's not happening,
Mm-hmm.
currently. So that's how my career started in marketing, and curiosity also took me far. So that moved into the next level until I got to Tecno. As my like major brand that I worked with in my career, and that was a brand that really tested my creativity, and I really broke so many
Many
protocols
rules.
and rules. But then, I mean, of course, it's was a collective. But then I was happy to have a team that was like, you know what, let her, just do her thing.
Wow.
And that's the success we are seeing
That's
today
a blessing.
with Tecno. And it's not easy to find such an environment.
Yeah.
But I actually got that, like my crazy ideas, actually did something good.
We'll get
Yeah.
into all of that,
Yeah.
especially the techno bit. But I just want to say that it appears to me that
Mhm.
most people, I dare say more than 90% of marketers chanced into their profession. Maybe that's why they don't respect us.
Possibly. And I think most people also think, oh, marketing is just like they see the end product, they think, oh, it's
So
just,
they're easy.
but they don't know the psychological assessment that goes into making sure like the words you're using is really going to resonate. It's a lot of work, but like you say, most people go, oh, these guys are spenders, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you'd always fight with your CFO
exactly.
and accountant.
ROI, I mean,
So
definitely.
with all the background that you have
Mhm.
and the experience that you have, when you think about marketing and what we are just talking about, when you think about what marketing is actually supposed to do,
Mhm.
what's your answer?
For me, I always say that if I make you pause and consider, for me, that is marketing.
Mm.
If you don't notice me, then it means I am not hitting the right nerve in your memory and in your emotion. I have to either hit your cognitive or your heart. So if I'm able to hit one of them or the two of them,
You've done your
then
job.
I have done my job.
Then you
Because
leave the rest for the salespeople.
exactly, because now you can't sleep. You're having sleepless nights about me. So now you take the action. Now they do the conversion.
Wow.
For me, that is what marketing is. So I always put that
When you were
forefront.
growing up, I know you probably came to this conclusion or this answer along your journey.
Mhm.
But when you were growing up, you grew up on jingles.
Yeah.
You heard some of these very
Oh, yeah.
interesting jingles growing up. You heard
Yes.
Beer Dear Nwani Club. You heard Angel Fetri Keke.
Even
You heard
Glyco. Yeah.
all of them. Which of these specific jingles from your childhood still lives in your head today?
I think there was this one with sunlight. Oh, yeah, like for me, like I still remember them, like
Yeah.
the emotions it actually gave me, and even with the glyco one, like the whole adrenaline with the guy, like it just has some you can never forget it.
Would you say you're attached to Sunlight?
I am.
Is the Sunlight product still around?
Yeah, but they are not
They are not as prominent
yeah,
as before.
but I still remember them because of the memory I
You
have.
have.
Yeah,
But are you attached to the product?
I used to be, but because they did not continue, the whole emotional, process. So I'm detached, but then I have them in memory, but then I am not attached to it. But if they were still existing, probably I would.
You would still be with them.
Definitely.
Wow. Did you understand what music was doing to you at that young age when you were growing up? Because I was telling one of our guests that I grew up listening to or hearing Beer Dear Noni Club. That
Yeah.
I wasn't drinking beer at the time. Even I don't drink beer, but it does something to me. I didn't understand what was happening to me as a kid, but I grew up. I kind of got the drift.
Mhm.
Did you understand what it was doing to you as a kid?
No, I wouldn't say I understood the marketing side of it, but I just knew it was speaking to my emotions.
Mm.
And it was the jingle was so easy, it was memorable. Like I could sing it with just one, hearing it once. At that time, it didn't, have too many technical meanings. I just loved it. It just spoke to my emotions. But then being in the space, I realized, oh, okay, So there's
This
actually
is
a
what
lot.
so when you actually got into it and you
Mhm.
started your career in it and you started briefing campaigns and doing all of that, did all of that music you grew up on influence how you thought about what a good marketing campaign should look like?
To some extent, but I think when you are hit with the ROI communication, sometimes you lose focus with what actually works. You want to go by the tactical, if we say tactical strategies, but when you do that over and over again, it gets a point where, like, for me, I take a pause. I'm like, no way, I need to slow down. I need to really put myself, in what I'm doing. What do I want to achieve? Because most of us marketers, we are used to very um, tactical, sales-driven communications, which currently it doesn't work anymore. So these are things that I had to learn after feeling. I had to take that pause because I'm like, okay, you're doing this, it is not working. Why is it not working? There's no emotional connection, and then also it's difficult to remember because there's so many jargons in the jingle.
Yeah. One of the things you did that didn't work was using jingles.
Exactly.
Before you had a breakthrough with the campaign, the Tecno, with Stoneboy doing a whole song, commissioning a song for you. Tell us about it. Tell us about those jingles. What was the thinking behind them, and why did you think it didn't work?
Yeah. Those jingles were very product heavy. They were. I mean, we assume.
Do you remember them?
Yeah, so we assume when we had our Come On 16 series where at that time we thought if we sell the specifications, like, okay, Come On 16 comes with 4 GB RAM, comes with this, comes with that. We thought that would make people actually get excited about it. But what we realized was that there's so much we're communicating in one jingle, like so many specifications, and the wording too technical. So it was just feeling woefully.
Yeah.
Because it's like they can't remember, and then two, they cannot sing along. It's not something
it's not catchy.
Yes, exactly. So that was the thing. We're too focused on selling the specifications than leaving a memory and then also hitting the emotions of the people. We're like, okay, too aggressive, sales driven jingles, which felt woefully.
Did it teach you that people don't really care about your product?
Yes, it's actually made me realize that.
Yeah, they care about how you make them feel about your product.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And then that is very true because I think there was an era where the specs would work. But as at this new era, it just doesn't work anymore. And I think people have gotten used, like all the competition are saying they have 4 GB RAM and they have all this. So really, what makes yours different? In terms of specs, we can go for specs wars. But what really sticks is how you make them feel. And that is what we actually learned from failing so many times. With the retail
jingles.
heavy, product specification jingles. Yeah.
Shout outs to Mariam. Mariam said something at the on a panel at DHU's fellowship event where she said that advertising then was buy this. Advertising now is more come and be part of this.
Exactly.
So it's more, and it's why influencer marketing is a thing now.
Exactly.
People want things to be a part of, not necessarily because if it's
They
about
want to affiliate.
Exactly. If it's about phone, you can buy any phone, like you're saying. But they want to feel that sense of belonging. They want to feel something. They want to feel driven towards your product. That's quite a good one. So, what was the moment you decided that, listen, this kind of jingle approach is not working? How many times did you go through the cycle to realize that this is not working? We need to take a different approach.
3 times.
Wow.
And I think what
they say, third time is a charm.
And I think what really woke us up was when we did the campaign, and the people who participated was like less than 5. Yeah, less than 5.
For Tecno.
Yeah, for Tecno.
A brand as huge as Tecno. Only 5 people participated in the campaign.
Resonate.
Wow.
And I think we forced the jingle to fit, but it just didn't fit. And I was like, no,
Wow.
this cannot.
Do you remember what the jingle was about? Like
It
the
was we
like
focused
run us through
purely
like the words or something or the tune.
the the words were purely the specifications, the features.
So if it's come on the
Comes
16
with
series
64 gigabyte.
and then there's some music, yeah.
Exactly. And
I
we had a
see.
mascot who would be dancing. It just didn't work
Wow.
because there are so many specs we had put in there in our mind. I mean, the more we push the battery capacity, the more we push the camera, capacity, it would actually work. It just didn't work. Because even me, if you ask me to sing that jingle, I cannot sing it. But then I remember the remove one,
Yeah.
Tecno, we speed it up, we got like that. I mean, because so
even you on the other side, you technically you are not the consumer at the time,
exactly,
but even you could feel like, yeah, this is it.
exactly, yeah.
Wow. So the 16 series, you did jingles for them 3 times, failed woefully,
Hopefully,
and then you made a decision.
yeah,
Let's switch it up.
exactly.
What was the main decision that you made? What did you say to your bosses?
So we're like, look, there's this song by somewhere that was actually trending. I'm like, okay, he's our brand ambassador, right? I'm like, okay. So I think I was just there sitting down there like singing the song, we move. So now I said, no, this song, we could actually integrate the Common 20. Initially, there will always be that resistance. I'm like, no, let's just try this. Because
Wait, so there was actually resistance
definitely,
because of the previous ones.
exactly.
Okay, so how did you convince them?
I was like, first off, for you to get an influencer to have a positive sentiment to share content, it has to be like tied to their original content. And we've had, at that time, we've had difficulties, getting him to kind of share because, I mean, of course, he doesn't want to dilute his,
Of course.
brand with too much technical stuff like that. So they were like, okay, if he's willing to push this as well, which he was, then okay, let's give it a shot. So now the whole thing is we just wrote the script and then he says, you know what? Stone says, send me the script.
So you actually wrote the
Yes.
wow. Wow.
Exactly, yeah.
And you sent it to him.
Yes.
So
And
you are a songwriter.
I mean, I mean, I knew like I'm not a master like him, but I knew the keywords I wanted to
Of
be,
course.
in it. And then, I mean, he just did his magic. Like,
What did you have in mind when you were putting the script together?
we had a campaign that we went around, a dance campaign, and we didn't want it to flop like the previous ones. So we said, okay, how are we going to get this campaign to be successful? We need a song that is hot, trending, and I think it was also trending at that time. And then that was one of the motivation, and also we want to increase our end media mentions
Of
because
course.
sometimes you need to pay so much, cost pay so high and all that. So we wanted something that would give us that organic
Yeah.
impression that we need. The sharing will be more organic. People just want to associate with it. So that was what we did, and that was the brain behind the whole music.
So how you envision success right from the beginning was to get a lot more end media.
Exactly.
Getting people to organically reshare, getting media houses to organically talk about it, generate that talkability about the product. Were you looking at generating talkability about the product or the brand?
So for me, it was a mixture of both. But the focus was more about the brand. The brand was more because Tecno has a history.
What's that history? Tell us.
I mean, people knew Tecno has a feature phone. Most people they don't even know Tecno has smartphones. So building on that history, because we're trying to reposition Tecno in the minds of people. So one of the strategies I wanted to achieve was to make it Tecno a brand that people are proud to go and buy themselves. Initially, even working with influencers, they wouldn't want to work with Tecno. So every jingle, everything is strategic, including what was even in the jingle, including who is singing the jingle, to reposition the brand again in the minds of the people.
So I'll let you continue, but
Mhm.
it brings me to an ideology that I always push, which is the fact that marketing disciplines usually cut across, especially marketing communications
Yeah.
discipline, they cut across. Because what you're doing right here, or what that thought, that strategic thought you were running through,
Yeah.
was less marketing and more PR.
Yes.
Because you're
Exactly.
trying to shape some perception about the brand,
Exactly.
but you needed to use some marketing activities to do
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
But the thoughts purely public.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And actually, that is how, I mean, we actually got a Tecno to the top three, which we have now. Smartphone, preferred smartphones in Ghana.
In the smartphone market.
Yeah, top three. We
Wow.
actually are the top. I mean, before we're not even in the top 20.
Of course.
Yeah. So it was some of these things, these intentional, jingles that we put in place. And I mean, the 120 was the beginning of it.
So I'm very interested. If you can recall, what was the main argument you put up internally to get this to pass?
The main argument was, first off, we had failed, previously, because we normally, we want to have, you want to spend less to acquire a customer through paid ads. We want to increase our share of voice organically, and then also increase our, digital impressions. Because at the end, of the day, if you're paying for everything, then I mean, there's a problem. You should at a point churn out content that will organically bring people to the community. So that was one of the arguments I made, because if we want to reach, let's say, 200 million impressions, and we have to pay for it, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So why not we rather invest in this, which is like a quarter or even less of what we would have to pay to achieve that same result. So that was what gave us that headway as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a strong argument you put up, because I think at the top they're looking at the bottom line.
Exactly.
How much are we spending?
The money.
Or what is it going to give us? So Stoneboy at the time was the brand ambassador for the company. So it wasn't easy to negotiate anything with him. But I'm interested in the conversation around you writing the script for him, because he's a creative.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that previously he wasn't so keen on sharing because it didn't really align with what he was with his brand.
Exactly.
When you sent the song to him or the script to him, did he change anything? Did he tell you, "Oh, I want to do this myself"?
He actually liked it. And then
Did you find it strange that he liked it?
Because he was my brand ambassador, I actually took the pain to get to know him.
Right.
Yeah, and I also, before I wrote the script, I listened to the music. I don't want to change it completely. I just want to unconsciously let you remember Tecno in it, and I also know his style of doing things. So I had that also in mind before writing the script. So
And
I knew
your theater
exactly. So, and I actually also sang the possible integration before I also sent to him. So he, just did the mastering, and then maybe took a few things out and changed a few things. But then at the end of the day, it was like
this
really good stuff. Yeah.
So where did you start from? Because you, in writing the song, I mean, you knew that the product. I'm sure you wrote the product heavy jingles as well. The script for the product.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yes.
Sorry for laughing, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So when you were writing this one, you knew you were definitely not going along those lines of talking about features and all of that. What were you thinking about when you're writing this?
The funny thing, I don't even remember the real song, but I remember the techno version.
Really?
Yeah. Because I have a creative mind, and I don't know, but it just comes to me. So I will sit down in my quiet space. Okay, so I'll just be thinking, put it here, put it there. Okay, we speed it up again. Super powerful camera. okay, let's just take out the specific number of the camera. Let's just leave it swap our full camera so that it's on like 108.
Yeah.
Makes it two specs now. And we just did whilst the beat so that we actually downloaded the song without the words. We were just playing it back in our heads. We're really bent on just making it work. And I mean, having a creative mind as well, it just kind of synced. And
Yeah.
he also came in and said, okay, let's take this out, let's bring this here.
Mm.
And he's a master of his craft. I mean, he just took like 30 minutes, and he was
I'm not surprised. I hear he's really crazy in the
he's
studio.
crazy, So basically, like we just had an idea, and then we committed to bringing it to life.
You said something very profound, which is that you don't remember the original song, but you
No.
remember the. And I can say this, that I don't think it's even because you wrote it. You wrote the
No,
jingle.
I don't think so.
I'll tell you why. Everybody get on now.
I feel
There's an original song.
yes.
There's an original before the Osibisa
And
original. You don't even know the Osibisa one.
exactly.
The moment it gets to the second line, all you hear is be here, dear, and one club.
Exactly.
Second exhibit 2, I don't go Famiko. There's an original song to that jingle. There's an original. We spoke to the composer of that song.
Right.
He actually wrote that song for himself after he went to mentor and all of that. And then a friend reached out to say he's producing a video for this Adonko BTS and blah blah. They need a song. They said, I have the song, and then he rewrote it, and now nobody even knows that he had an original that existed. So I think it's a thing with original songs being refreshed or rewritten for brands that makes it stick. It means that when you take a good song or a good brand and you attach it to a good song, it's magic.
Yeah.
Wow.
It works. It works because people already they fall in love with the song already. So it's like you attaching it, you're just kind of making your brand resonate better with the people listening
Absolutely.
to it. So
but you didn't. Okay, so the arc here is you grew up on Jingles.
Mm-hmm.
You started working with Jingles in your line of work much later, not early 2000s or even the 2010s, but 2024, right? Which is more, if you'd like, someone would argue, more of a future thing compared to those who did it in the 90s and all of that. When you were doing that, you didn't stop at just doing the Jingles. You added a dance competition to it. What was your thought? Because people usually would just do the song and leave it at that, but you decided to go a step further.
Yeah, I mean, increasing the end media value, because if you just record a jingle and you play it on radio and all that, the impact. I am always a big fan of organic, impressions and UGC content. How do I get it? Even with the dance, they had to, do symbols like the phone and the camera and all that. And when it comes to social media, it's one of the things that, goes viral, like these kind of organic content. And we wanted to also penetrate the Gen Z space. So this was one of the ways we could, penetrate the space gradually. Because if you observe the Gen Zs, they are not a fan of selling specifications. They are big on experiences and emotional connections. So we observe them and we say, okay, this is what they like, and these are their leading influencers at that time, who can actually spearhead the whole campaign. We're not selling the phone, we're just selling the brand experience to them. Gradually, bring them in, to love the brand. So normally with the Gen Z penetration, we were more interested in letting them love the brand first, then we show them what we have to offer them. So that was why the dance campaign came inside, because we needed something that was fun but still had the under, tones of the brand.
And that is the power of insights,
Yes.
because you worked with it was an insight that you worked with, right?
Exactly.
On this same show, we had a consumer section episode where we're speaking to consumers who had consumed music jingles in the past and how it's influenced their purchasing behavior. And the Gen Z told us that she doesn't care about the song. So what I'm learning from what you just said, and if I'm drawing parallels to what she said, that was Maunya in about 2 episodes ago. She said that even if you're going to use music to sell to her, attach it to something, right? Because they don't really care about the music.
Exactly.
So it's either their influencer telling them about it, and usually if an influencer is telling them about it too, the influencer, it has to be a bit animated.
Exactly.
So hence the dancing.
Exactly.
Right? So if your trick or if your strategy at the time was to bring in the influencer into the fold, the Gen Z into the fold, then that was spot on.
Yeah.
And what was the earned impression you were looking at the time?
I would even say we anticipated less. We were looking at 10 million impressions.
And what did you get?
We got about 200 million.
God damn it.
And that was the point I saw the power of TikTok. I had underestimated TikTok.
So you downloaded TikTok after that?
So we were on TikTok, but
you personally?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because TikTok, I don't know, but
when TikTok came, people said that it's for immature
people. Exactly. and it's if you check the hashtag performance of these influencers, you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
The impressions.
Yeah.
That was when I said no content. That was even when I also went into content, and then even swore more on the jingles, because TikTok gives you that organic, impression that
you probably won't get on any other
platform. So many insights even coming out of the whole jingle. We even just thinking we'll get 10 million impressions, and about when we think about 100 entries, we got over 5,000.
Wow. From 5?
Yes.
From the failed one?
Exactly.
To 5,000.
I'm telling you.
I'm sure your bosses were happy.
And we couldn't even believe it. We were not sure if it's the same hashtag or and yeah, so I think it really worked more than that was also when we had to embrace that the new media is here and the new audience, they are just different.
Did you run this on radio or TV?
We did, but then after the digital caught fire, we just
you just redirected your budget.
We saved it, and then we actually used it to give like bigger prizes for the campaign. Wow. Because that impression, you can measure it.
Yeah,
this is
it's
not
measurable.
by this is not by
yeah.
And amazing.
TV will tell you that they are unable to tell you. They can only tell the number of people.
This you're seeing.
Yeah.
And the hashtag is still there. You click on it, you have all the the history of the campaign, and that's a good thing.
What did your bosses say when they saw the results?
They wanted to be sure. We kept refreshing the
dashboard.
We kept refreshing the dashboard, and then that was when they actually believed in like entertainment content. Everything doesn't have to be too serious.
Yeah.
We don't have to always.
People want to have fun.
Exactly.
People are stressed in this Accra.
Exactly, and so even if you look at the Tecno now, we are very big on fun stuff. Like now we do a lot of fun stuff because that's what's really working now. The experiences, from the jingles, what people remember. Yeah.
So would you say that if you had used, let's say you had used a different artist, not Stoneboy, because I'm trying for us to also be a bit measured about the influence of the artist on the song. Do you think you probably, I know this is a bit hypothetical, but do you think the results would have been different if it was a different artist who recorded, say, a lesser known artist, or even you commissioned somebody like a regular person? Because the person who sang the studio version of this Everybody Get a Beard and on the Club, it wasn't Osibisa's voice on it. They wrote the song for somebody, they used the Osibisa instrumentation, and then they recorded it. but we don't know. I don't think we care,
Yeah,
right? But if you had used someone who was lesser known and wasn't Stonebwoy, do you think you would have gotten the same impact? Or sometimes it also depends on because you used a trending Stonebwoy song.
Exactly, yeah.
So a bigger artist, an already bigger song,
Yeah.
and then you achieve the results.
Yeah.
Do you think that also made a difference?
It did. It made a significant difference because there was an existing emotional connection to the song. However, you can still use someone else and then still get it across. I think it all depends on the objectives, that you want to achieve and how you position the music. I mean, how you even use it and where you use it. But definitely, if there's that existing emotional bond of the person with the people, it makes it easier. Easier because if you don't have that, then it means the song might be really, easy to remember. Very like connected emotionally, and that's what makes some people prefer to go with the existing foundation. But then it's very very possible. Like we have a Broom song. It was sung by a regular person, but it's really good. Like people actually know about it, because it had an emotional
connection
appeal. So definitely, it's not necessarily it has to be an artist, but it just gives you one foot already in instead of the gamble of seeing if it will work or not. Yeah, but then they're both effective.
And did Stonebwoy know about the results? Did you?
Oh yeah. I mean, he was so happy to push it. That's the good thing. Like he has.
So he went from not pushing it to pushing it because now he has done something that he can relate to.
Exactly. It was
and he participated in the dance challenge as well. Oh, really?
He did. He did, and it was like it was seamless. It was the most seamless collaboration we had ever had with him.
Wow.
Because we were keeping him in his originality. I mean, it was seamless, and he willingly, was excited to because he saw it as it's unconsciously also pushing
his brand
as well. So it was very seamless, and it really also boosted the whole virality of the campaign.
So for him, this was a clear case of you working with an artist and against he executing a brief for you, right? Because it's more of a collaboration, like you said, very seamless, and it's aligned with a lot of his values as a brand, as a person, and so it was easy for him. Wow.
Yeah.
When you got the numbers, I'm interested in the numbers because usually when marketers run campaign, accountants and CFOs are always complaining, "You're spending so much, why are you giving this artist da 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 da." What did you think the numbers were actually measuring? First of all, you had said that in the beginning, you had said that you wanted the campaign to drive awareness to the brand. But did you see a shift, the 200 million impressions and the 5,000 entries? Did it affect sales?
Absolutely. We overachieved our target, and Common 20 is one of the brands that was like almost sold out.
You achieved your sales target?
Yes.
What was the target?
It was for the Accra region. It was 122,000 pieces.
You wanted to sell 120,000 pieces
for that month. Yes.
Okay, that's modest.
And we did like over 240% of that.
You're kidding.
Yes.
240 is 240%.
Yeah, exactly. Even like we're all surprised. It actually made us see that look, sometimes you just need to give the consumer what they want to experience instead of pushing, the whole specifications, because that was where we learned that, what, they just want to remember you. And I think it's that top of mind awareness that created that whole.
I worked with a boss, he hates that name, that phrase, top of mind awareness.
Because when they remember you and then they want to get a smartphone,
you come to mind. If someone wants a smartphone they are recommending, you come to mind.
Yeah, exactly. Because the campaign, one of the objectives of it was to include an image of the Common 20 in your video. So you are not just singing and dancing to the song.
You need to have the phone
on the video. Even if you don't have it in hand, you put an
The image.
on
So
the
you're
video.
pushing it.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So
you
everything is very strategic.
it creates that thing that
Exactly.
it leaves an imprint on their brains.
Exactly.
So if 5,000 people made the entry, it means 5,000 people actually put the image on their
Exactly.
video.
Minus the impressions.
Let's just say for every 5,000 person, for out of the 5,000 people, for every one person that puts it out, they are getting, say, 1,000 impressions. And I'm sure that if they made it through, then 1,000 is even modest.
Yeah.
Probably 10,000
Yeah,
impressions
exactly.
multiplied by the 5,000 people. That's a lot.
Exactly.
Wow.
So like we're very, I mean, as we started going viral, and I was okay. Now let's find a way to integrate the product, because now the name is going viral, becoming popular. Now we integrate the product and all that, and I mean, it was a really successful campaign, really successful. The sales, good.
Wow.
Very good. So at least I think from there we were able to get that trust from the sales, team, that look, it's not always about selling the 5,000 milliamp hour batteries.
People don't even know what that means.
Exactly. You get it. So yeah, it was a good
Wow.
one.
So in Accra region, you did the 240%.
40,
What about the other regions?
So everyone actually exceeded the target, because what we did, because it was digital. Digital doesn't have a boundary. So every the whole brand was like over their target for the Common 20 series that we released. And of course, it was all part of the jingle was also part of what also sold that particular model, Common 20. Even up to now, people still really prefer that model, though we are at Common 50. But people
People still prefer the Common 20.
Yeah.
Is it that the product itself was also good?
It was good. I think one of the specs that we started with for the Common 20 was the screen. We dropped it, it wasn't going to crack. We moved away from the glass to a material that was anti-scratch, and then also wouldn't crack it. So people, they still feel that's the only model that has that, but all the models after that has the same, but then they are hung on the
But if I wonder how they got to know about that feature if you didn't talk about the feature.
We did on our digital, so it was a 360 funnel. So even though this was happening digitally, we also made a conscious effort to push.
So before they get to that, so after the consideration, when they get to the buying stage, that purchasing stage, the decision they make there, you have information that guides them to make that purchasing decision as well. Wow. So when all of this happened and you saw this huge success, I'm here to speak to a lot more marketers who sit in this seat and tell us if they are moved with so much success, right? Move from 5,000 to 5 million and all of that. But what did this prove to you personally about music, about marketing, about what happens when these two are aligned, properly aligned?
For me, I think it's confirmed what probably I had forgotten: the power of emotional connection and mental connection. Because I realized that even me, if I'm gonna make a purchase, it's what I remember. And how easy is it for me to remember a brand? That's one thing I actually learned. And I also learned that, sometimes we overthink, what the consumer needs. But one thing that has proven to work time and time again is when whatever thing you're pushing speaks to the emotions or the memory.
Wow.
It has to do one of these or both of them. And the how, and how do you know the how? You first need to understand and accept the age you are in now. Now it's TikTok. It is an age of podcasts and a lot of jingle music. age. So you need to adapt, and people are not really moved by certain things. You need to integrate it into like the things that they listen to,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Where they listen to what
exactly
they
when they listen
listen.
to it and all that. And that is like one thing that I took away from my experience. So now I'm all about how do I feel about this?
If so, even before you ship any
Yes,
campaign, you ask yourself first, how
how
do
do
you
I feel
feel
about
about
it?
it? Blacko said this thing on his interview with Kafwide that
Mm,
before he puts out any song here, if he feels good about it, that's
exactly,
it.
exactly.
Because he trusts himself so much that
Hmm.
if he feels good about it,
That's
that's
it.
it.
Yeah.
That's good. You said something about adapting to the times.
Hmm.
And you know what time it is now?
Oh yeah,
It's AI time.
it's AI time.
Awurakua, it's AI time.
Yeah, certainly.
And you you're in the present,
Hmm.
but you've also taken one leap into the future.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, we are in the AI age, but I still think there's still more to come for AI.
Oh, definitely.
But you've already made a step there.
Yeah.
What is it like before we even get into it proper? Tell me, how is it like there right now?
The
Just
AI
the
world.
AI world for you as a marketer.
For me, I would say that I think what limits humans is writing. You have the idea, you know very well what you want, but you can't write 100 pages of your ideas. I think what the AI does is to simply bring your idea, and like expand on it. But then for me, it is always my idea. I write it in the most rare form, and then I say, what, put this together, and it's always my idea. Just written in 100 pages because I can
Yeah.
write 100 pages, and that is what AI has come to do. To not to do your work for you, but to help you to put your ideas that you are thinking in your mind, expand it for you to go through and see which ones align with what you want to do in the present. So that's what I use the AI to do, and I also use it to create visuals of what I think I want to see. I can see in my mind's eye. So I draw what I
Okay.
have in my mind, and then I put it in the AI. I explain what's in my mind. I mean, I am not an artist, so I can't draw to perfection,
Yeah.
but I can
But you
draw
give it a framework and then
exactly.
you tell it what you're thinking about.
Exactly, and with the music I created recently, I realized our social media page was quite boring. We're using a lot of third party music. I'm like, okay, what if we also try to use something simple?
Erika, hold on. Hold on. I want to ask you a question to
Hmm.
lead to that point. What brand are you using this for? This AI music in advertising.
For for Broom and then
So
for
you've
Electromart.
left Tecno.
Yes.
So you are still in consumer
Oh yeah,
electronics.
definitely. Yeah.
So you used a human being, Stoneboy. It gave
Hmm.
you 200%
Exactly.
success. You decided that human beings are not enough. If human being can give you
I mean, they're
200%, then
expensive.
if human being can give you 200%, and a human being can probably write 10 pages,
Hmm.
and AI can write 100 pages,
Hmm.
then 10x it. So
I know,
now you are going to
right?
look for
I know.
200 million
Yeah.
percent.
Yeah.
But what drove you? I know you started talking about
Mhm.
it, but I wanted us to backtrack. But what was your motivation behind? Because you've seen success,
Mhm.
you've done one thing that has
Mhm.
worked. Apart from the fact that they are expensive to
Mhm.
employ, I
Mhm.
get it, we all get it. But apart from all of that, what was your main motivation for using AI to develop song for your campaign
I think one was curiosity, and also the fact that I had heard AI music
on
from
TikTok?
TikTok, and I was like, this
Yeah,
is good.
someone played some gospel AI.
Yeah, you
You're
see,
like, bro,
yeah,
the person reacted to the song said they were listening to the song, they were in the spirit,
yeah.
and all of a sudden they realized they were AI. It's like, hey,
Exactly. There's just something about this AI that is able to understand the emotion you want to put in a song.
mm,
So for me, it was that and then also the curiosity to try it out. So definitely, I had to put my script as usual together and describe the emotion that I want this particular, song to have. So for me, it's more of curiosity, and I had also experienced the AI music. Fantastic.
So, what did the conversation actually look like between you and AI? Because in Stoneboy's case, you wrote the song.
Yeah.
He was your brand ambassador. You understood how he was thinking about your brand. He understood your brand.
Yeah.
So you wrote the song. You sent it to him.
Yeah.
He moved a few things.
Exactly. Yeah.
He perfected it. Walk us through
How I did.
how you did the same with AI. Okay. How are you brainstorming with AI on
Okay,
this?
let me give some free tips here.
Tell us.
So for me, before I go into strategy mode with AI, I first take the AI through. It's more like a introduction, like on an onboarding process.
Okay.
So I put in my website.
So like you're onboarding
exactly
an ambassador.
That particular chat, exactly.
Because when you listed Stoneboy, you had to brief him about your brand. Okay.
Exactly. So it's the same process. Put in the website, put in everything, and I asked it to study the brand. Go through it. It does all that, and then I now tell it this is what I want to do for this for social media, because note it, like every channel is different. This is what I want to achieve. I want people to be on our social media. Every post they click on, they hear the song, and gradually it resonates. So we get that chat. How many seconds? I think it should be between 30 seconds to 45 seconds. And like I want it to be a bit fast, but not so fast. I want it to be funky. So these are some of the. So we have a chat. So we finally come to, okay. So these are the things I want to highlight. This Electromart as a premier destination, you get all your premium stuff, this and that and that. We put it in, and I also put in the brands I want to feature.
Okay.
For you to also look at the brands and their brand identity, the style of messaging, how they are positioning themselves. They study that now. Okay, you have all the 360 information, right? So now let's get into the specifics. Create a jingle.
Wow.
Because I do not want the AI to work out of the. I needed to understand that these are the brands.
Because AI doesn't think.
Exactly.
Right? It can't think.
Exactly. So I'm a very pro AI. Yeah, I'm not in a hurry. I always want to make sure the AI understands where I'm coming from. And I always get the best out of it. So that is one of the things I do. Put inside the website or any other
Brand information.
Because I needed to understand each of the brands. Then we move on to the.
When you were working with Stoneboy, I wouldn't say there was resistance, but in any human relationship, you need to build the trust. There has to be that authenticity, and if in the case of the previous jingles that Stoneboy was a bit resistant to, there was resistance. How different is it with AI? Do you tell AI to critique some of your ideas, or it's just I am the boss here, do as I say?
No, so I actually asked it to critique, but I am also conscious of the fact that it may not have enough information. So I listen to, I see its critique, but then I also tailor it to the information I have from my own research and observations as well. So I don't rely 100% on AI, but I also do my own research and all that. But then most of the time, because of how I query the AI, 90% of the time we are aligned.
It gives you the best quality. Was there any output AI gave you that surprised you?
The song, actually.
Really? How good was it?
Oh, it was good. It was good, and the fact that it understood how I want the beginning hook and the ending hook to be, because I only have 5 seconds to let you remember the name of the brand. It got it perfectly.
So is the song doing magic currently with your audience?
Yes, for one of our brands, Electromart. I don't know if you No Electromart.
I know Electromat.
Okay, so top of mind is a problem,
Mm-hmm.
So
For with the brand.
yes, with the brand, So the idea for it is to always have that with all our ads, all our digital platforms. So the beginning has Electromat Ghana, hey, So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
knew this, knew that, yeah, yeah. So
Oh, sing the song for
yeah,
us.
so the beginning just had Electromat Ghana, hey, Then it actually has a very Ghanaian tone
Mm,
to it,
mm.
So
It's not that funny AI tone that
no,
sounds
no, no,
like
no, no,
Lafa.
not at all,
Mm,
not at all,
wow.
not at all. We use a lot of software, Use a
I
lot
was
of
gonna I was going to be there. What AI tool do you use?
we use a combination of ChatGPT, Gemini, Higgsfield, and then
Okay.
Suno.
Okay.
Yeah. Before we go into Suno to create the music, we've done a lot of refinement in all the these places, But Suno is the best app for creating music. Yeah. I tried once with Gemini. It's a no for me for music. Yes.
I have my own reservations about Gemini.
Yes.
I think most of these Gen AI tools they are best for specific things.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, but do you see at what scale do you see this? I was going to ask about the results
Mhm.
first of all. So, twofold question: at what scale, or what has been the results
Mhm.
with, or the progressive results? Let me put
Mhm.
it that way
Mhm.
because it's pretty new, right?
Yeah.
The progressive results you've seen with the AI song, the AI music that
Yeah.
you've done in your marketing, and how at what scale do you see AI being used in advertising?
Mm.
Do you think it would get to a point where people use AI to generate music and they would create dance challenges like you did with Stoneboy? Even yourself,
Mhm.
are you
Mhm.
going to do something like that? Because if you can use instead of now using Stoneboy to do the song and Stoneboy participates in the dance music, you can employ DWP. You have the song,
Mhm.
you tell them, listen, do a dance challenge and let's
Mhm.
this go
Mhm.
viral. Do you have plans of doing that?
I mean, it's an option. It's
Mm,
a very good option. But you see, one thing is that um, AI cannot override fan love. People love Stoneboy. Sometimes that fan love is like one foot into the success. AI is good, but then it's at the moment fan lab also it's very necessary because if you give the song to DWP, it's more like you're trying to advertise a song or something like that.
mm,
It may work, it may not,
yeah.
work. So it has when it's pros and cons. But I would say for now, I would prefer to use a combination of both. Trial with this, see how it works, but not completely let go of the human, aspect of
So the
the
fun love is what is expensive. It's not the
exactly.
artist.
Not necessarily.
It's the fun love.
I mean the
Because
influence, right?
exactly.
The influence,
Yeah.
because if Stone should sing your, you know, product music, because I mean very well that you already have like 10 million people already listening to you, compared to if you're
Yeah.
giving it out to someone. Yeah, so
So
certainly.
for all the things that you have done
Hmm.
with the field jingles, using Stoneboy to writing a song for Stoneboy, seeing that success, and now developing song for campaign. Sorry, it's campaign with AI.
Hmm.
What do you think
Hmm.
that how what do you think all of this teaches a
Hmm.
marketer,
Hmm.
right, about how brands use music to communicate to their audience?
One of the most important things is to like remembered,
Mm,
and it has actually taught me personally to prioritize being remembered. You know, particularly targeting the emotional, aspect of the human than the logical all the time, because that is what lasts a lifetime. Like current, like we're discussing, you actually still remember the club beer,
beer,
you
yeah.
know, because of you still remember, you resonate with it. That's what it has actually taught me, and then it also taught me to always be up to the trend and to accept when there is a new media. Today is TikTok, today is music, tomorrow it could be AI universe. We just need
It
to
could be
be
Bankulita.
exactly, exactly. We just need to embrace this, new things. Because now people want something new. Because, I mean, who thought Bacolita will go viral?
Viral. I know.
So
It's
it's
crazy.
it's actually tells us not to limit ourselves. Tells us to explore, especially things that have to deal with people's memory and emotions. Because now these are the things that people crave more. These are the things people resonate with most, and this is what they remember. They don't remember if your product has the most high spec. They don't
They don't
remember
care.
it.
Yeah.
So brand love is like right now the most important. And how do you achieve it? Through intentional strategies, through music, through all these things that resonate with our mind and our hearts. Because now that's what people are really buying into. Even with influencer marketing,
Mm-hmm.
that's the new trend now. If you give a product to someone and do unboxing and all that, it doesn't work anymore. You want to integrate seamlessly
Yeah.
into the person's craft and audience. So that is the generation we are in now, and every marketer must accept and adapt to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and of course, be advanced with the AI, because I am actually looking at maybe we're going to AI universe. So adaptability is very
Yeah.
important, and let go of the what
The old ways
you
of doing
think
things. Yeah.
works, and look at the majority of the consumers. Because if you are targeting digital, when you look at the statistics, the Gen Zs are
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
They
exactly.
flooded
So
the
you
place.
really want to be like a likable
Yeah.
brand through this
Exactly. Yeah.
music and other intentional content you put out
I
there.
think it's very important what you've just said to be likable, because I think during our time we didn't really care about liking brands, right?
No,
It was more about what the brand can give us.
yeah,
But now, for Gen Zs, they must like you to purchase you.
there's this they want to feel like they are part of a certain
Yes,
community.
yes. If you're
That's
a
it.
brand and you feel detached,
Exactly,
stay there. They
exactly.
don't want to have anything to do with you.
They want to feel like it's just a unique,
Yeah.
positioning they have
Wow.
actually.
So what I've learned is that, based on the question that I asked, is regardless of the medium you're using, whether you're using a human being like Stoneboy or you're using AI,
Hmm.
the bottom line is make sure whatever you're producing touches the hearts of the people,
Exactly.
right? It makes them feel something.
Exactly.
If I came to you, if any brand manager came to you and they said they wanted to use music with the success that you've achieved with in your career so far, using music in marketing, advertising, what would be the first question you're going to ask them?
What do you want to achieve? Who is your audience?
Why that question?
Because you need to know what you want to achieve to even know the style of music you want to produce, and who is your audience. We are all different. The Gen Z, they have a way they like that stuff. Millennials are different. When you can answer these questions, now you can know the direction you want to take it. Because sometimes we create the product and we're not looking for who to, love it. You need to know who you want to, target and create what they want so that it's easy for them to resonate with what you have done. So for me, that's the question. What's the goal? Do you want them to dance to it? Do you want them to feel like, oh, this is so amazing? What do you want them to feel? And who are the audience? When you have that, then you know what they like to listen to. Do you want to go on my piano way? Do you want to go Celine Dion way? Like, so you need to know the goal, right?
Celine Dion Emfa.
Exactly. So, I mean, imagine, you want to target Gen Z and you are going Celine Dion way,
In fact,
Exactly. So if you know the goal and who the audience are, that is the beginning of identifying even the what works for you and what's your brand. How do you want people to associate with your
and
brand? What do you want them to remember when they hear the music? For Broom, we our music is tailored towards you feeling a sense of home, family, because it's home appliances. That is our focus. So our songs are very emotional. Has that
okay,
family bonding and all that. For Electromart, it's a bit upbeat because it's a retail destination.
okay.
So it's about a goal. So based on the goal, your product and your brand positioning, like how do you want to be positioned? Then you know how to, you know, finesse the music for it
It's
to
why
work.
Sunlight used that tune.
Exactly.
Sunlight,
It
it's
was
very,
calm and yes,
and
exactly.
then be the everybody get on now.
Exactly, because it's an
Yeah,
outdoor
yeah.
product. Yeah, so definitely.
What do you think? And this is to wrap up the
Mhm.
conversation. I'm enjoying this, but at some point, all good things must come to an end. But what do you think would still be true about advertising, music, and marketing in this our discipline in the next 20 years when Gen Zs are not the ones dictating the market?
Mhm.
What do you think will still be true as long as human beings are concerned
Mm.
in this our discipline?
How people felt about
You think
your
that would
oh
never
yeah, yeah, yeah.
change?
It's I mean you still remember the beer.
I do.
I still remember,
Sunlight.
you know, sunlight. It even if today they come to the market, I know them. I'll buy sunlight.
Yeah.
How you made them feel and how easy it is to, memorize your song. So it's the content and how it resonates mentally and emotionally. That is really it. Aside that, I nothing would resonate for the next 30 years. It is how the person felt, about that music that you put out there. Even the next 30 years, some of the music you remember are those that resonated with an experience or
You're
with
able to connect with a certain
exactly,
experience. Yeah.
exactly. So but there are many music I mean out there, but
You remember a few.
exactly
That's true.
because you can
Only
relate,
connect with
yeah,
them.
connect with it.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, we hope that this episode made you feel like you are a star brand manager because now you are going to apply all of the skills and the insights you've learned to, improve your brand, have some insights to come up with the best campaigns to run. Erikwa, thank you so much for
Thank
making
you
the
for
time to
having
come.
me.
We've enjoyed this conversation. If you made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you so much, and I hope you did find it insightful. Please do like, comment, share with any of your friends that you think would find this as exciting as you did. And also, please do subscribe to this channel.